Home sales in the Greater Toronto Area fell more than 20% last month compared to a year earlier, even though the number of listings was up almost 43% in May. The average price rose almost 15% from a year ago to just under $864,000. But when compared with April, the average price was down 6%. Analysts say recent efforts to cool the housing market, including a 15% foreign buyers tax, are having an effect, but they say just how long the effect will last remains to be seen. Shawn Zigelstein is a real estate agent with Royal LePage and joins us now. What do you make of this change? It's pretty dramatic.
It is a dramatic change, and we expected it. You know, if you told me 6 weeks ago that this was going to happen, I would have agreed with you. I would have said, look, we're going to see some inventory hit the market, and we were saying that right away before the Liberals announced their plan to curb home buying. So we knew that there was going to be inventory hitting the market. We didn't know to this level, and we didn't know that there was going to be this many houses and properties come on the market. So the news today does not surprise me at all.
Do you think this is because of the foreign buyers tax?
I don't think that it has a direct correlation with it. It may be a little bit of let the buyer beware, and the buyers were pulled back a little bit to say, well, if the government is announcing this, the perception is that it's going to be a slowdown. So now, of course, we've seen that slowdown come into play. But I think it's more to do with the inventory that we've seen hit the market.
Is this drop a shock? I mean, is this a surprise to many?
Not really, because we were seeing increases that just were not sustainable at the beginning of the year. When you're getting houses that are listed and selling for $200,000-$300,000, even higher over asking price, that's not sustainable. Buyers were saying, what are we going to buy? And they couldn't find the actual product that they wanted without going into 5, 10, 15 multiple offers before they get their own house. So no, I didn't think it could sustain itself at that pace.
What's the approach when you run into clients who they've been outbid several times? What do you tell them? What approach should they take after that?
Well, now they've got choice, and that makes a big difference for them today. So today there's choice where 6 weeks ago there wasn't choice. They can now go around, they can look at houses, they can see the homes that they want to buy and put offers in. And as long as the seller's expectations or their need to sell is in place, then they're going to get a deal in place. If they don't have that motivation from the seller side of thing, then we're not going to see them actually sell the properties.
Do you think what we've seen in the last month, does this set a trend for the rest of the year, or is this just a spring thing?
I think the inventory level is a spring thing. I think a lot of people were trying to capitalize on the marketplace and just waited a little bit too long. So those people that are not serious, motivated sellers will potentially come off the market eventually. And then will we get back to the frenzy that we were seeing earlier in the year? I don't think we're going to get back to that level, but we'll get to more of a balanced type of market.
Among real estate agents, when you see that frenzy going on, what goes through your mind? What do you think about it?
A lot of agents think it's fun. A lot of buyers think it's the worst thing ever, and a lot of sellers love it because they were capitalizing on it. But again, I'm all for a balanced market. We like to see increase year over year, which we're still seeing despite the drop today that was announced. We're still seeing an increase year over year on average price. And while our inventory levels are up, properties are still selling out there.
Those prices, are they sustainable? Do you think they're going to remain at that level, or are they going to come down a little bit?
I think we saw it a little bit today with a little bit when they released the numbers of a little bit of a drop. Do I think we're going to see a little bit of a drop compared to the April and March numbers that were in play? Yes. But year over year, I think we're still going to have sustained growth.
Shawn Zigelstein, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.